This is...
You're going to play the puppets next, so you're going to really waylay.
Yeah, I'm going to have to redeem
hands.
myself. Sadly, the thing I can't remember is if you defeat a piece of my guys, whether or not all my stuff stays in play.
I think she's gone crazy.
You're hardly the standard for wild outbursts.
We've tricked the judge.
Again, it's been like 3 years since I've touched these cards. So
May the message boards light up.
I'm sure they're gonna like, especially considering, you know, I used to be in charge of all the rules. They're just gonna waylay me for
Those kids that came in second and third place, those are going to be the ones.
They'll be like, oh, it's
from you.
typical. He doesn't know the rules. Oh, let's see. So, I guess I'm just going to use Scattershot to defeat Karama.
There he goes.
Where I'm I know it all goes away then. And I get to draw 3 cards from Billionaire Wages and 3 cards from your Billionaire Wages.
Indeed you do. All right. So I'll choose my 2 cards. Increase this to 8, which is the Spirit Energy again.
And if the people were actually paying attention at home, I totally missed 2 draw step triggers that I should have.
Aha! It's again the psychological warfare of the cameras.
It is.
Lights.
It's intimidating. And I didn't expect you to do 11 points of damage so far, but we're on turn 4.
Oh, you keep telling me. Okay,
If you
there it
keep
is, turn
track.
4. Well, sometimes my own psychological defense works against me. So let's see. Now we're up to 12 on this little bad
Which is
boy.
normally you'd max out at 10, but you're a Meshi again, so.
So I need a bigger die. There we go. All right, so 12 it is. I'm gonna do an overwhelming kill just to rub it in.
Yeah.
I learned that move from
Fair
Scott.
enough.
So we'll throw in the overwhelming kill, drop down to 10, which, you know, is somewhere on this darn thing. I'm gonna use a 0. All right, and there's the card to pay for.
Do you have enough to overwhelming kill me?
Oh.
Because it's 10, 15, what's his ability? Free Cheryl, 16, 17. Oh, you are 1 short. Oh, and overwhelming kill you have to be 4 times. So you're nowhere close.
Well, all right now. Well, I do 1 point of damage and still kill you.
That's kind of all you really have to do.
He tried to stump me on that.
Well,
all
you tried
right.
to overwhelming kill.
Okay, well, nonetheless, that's game. Match.
Game.
There's his outline at least.
Oh, man, he's act.
So there it is. While Scott kind of sets up a second deck, which I'm just going to play the same one since I'm having so much luck with it. We'll see how well that luck runs. I'm betting it runs out. Let's see. More about the game itself, or more about the, I guess, the following that it had.
It was quite popular at one time.
It was. Like I said, the game ran for about 5 years. The tournaments ran for almost 3 years of that total time. Aside from just the regular game cards that were come out and the expansion packs that came out, there were also what were called tournament cards. And so different groups around the country that would hold tournaments could contact Score, and they would get certain packs of cards that would be sent that were only available by
there were
tournaments.
leagues available at like local card stores. There were obviously tournaments. We held quite a few at anime conventions. Some of you may remember me from then.
Some of the cards you could only get from these tournament or league cards are, of course, some of these cards here. Some of these cards, like this Perfect Balance, were only available, like, say, at conventions, Wizard World or Comic Con.
I believe, is that V1 or V2? Perfect Balance was only available if you bought the original release of like Yu Yu Hakusho.
There you go.
Like you get it with the, I believe, the old VHS copies.
Matter of fact, I have from an 8-hour signing that I did at Anime Expo, these particular scorecards here, which had the full Score logo on it, which is kind of how you could tell. But these were only available at Anime Expo in 2001. A marathon signing for me. So there are a lot of these cards with my signature floating around, although oddly none have popped up on eBay. Although the Dark One card, the original Dark One card, not the one included in your box sets, but once sold on eBay for, I believe, $1,000. So indeed there was at one time a large group of people who would pay quite a bit of money. Now Scott's pulled out what we like to call a puppets deck, which again You can find the full makeup for this deck online, the website listed below.
Speaking of a league cards, all of these characters were only available in the league.
Right.
So if you went, you got to play what turned out to be my favorite deck from the whole of Yu Yu Hakusho.
It's a good deck. And
It's pretty mean.
you guys might want to run the time clock on this one. You saw how long the last match went. This match will go incredibly fast. So we'll roll the dice, see who goes first. 3. Another mega roll from Justin.
Oh, 4, just enough.
Not much better, but still, yes.
I will go first.
So we draw our 4 cards, as you remember from how we play the game.
All right, and I have a special card since it's not in my opening hand. I'm gonna go find Bullseye, one of Justin's favorites.
It is. It's got a great character on it.
Some Yusuke guy.
Scott enjoys playing cards that I've signed myself to beat me with.
It just adds a little bit of insult to injury.
There it is.
All right, so I'm gonna draw my 4 again. All right. Since I am now Team Urameshi, I go to 3 Spirit. Again, I don't draw cards because I'm going first.
But he plays on a pink card mat.
Play Faces of Sensui. Go
Stood
with 8.
in the way of Sensui's plan.
This is turn 1 for Ultimate Sacrifice. I'm going to play Demon Energy Scanner to go up to 10. I'm going to play Raise Your Team IQ, which discards the top 2 cards of your deck. If they're 2 different card types, I get to draw 2 cards. They're both events, so no such luck for me. And then I'm going to spend 2 more to play Burst of Power. Draw 3. And I'm going to go to 6. Raise your team IQ again. So discard 2. Event and another event. King Yama's Wrath. We both discard the top 5. Alright.
The main point of Scott's deck is basically to get rid of my cards. Of course, if I run out of cards and can't draw a card on my card step, then I lose the match. That's how he'll win.
Alright, so I'm going to use, let's see, this would be 1,000. Actually, my attacks right now. This would be the second one. Alright, I'm going to use Yusuke's second attack, which does 4,000, 9,000, 9,000. So 1 point of damage. You draw 2 cards.
It doesn't do with defense.
7. Yeah, your defense is 850, right? Because it's plus 500. So
Okay.
7, 750.
1 point
850.
damage.
All right. And then this is where
Always
it gets nice and
question, Scott.
confusing that we missed stuff. All right. So you draw a card at the end of your turn. During your draw step, I draw a card, and then you discard 2 cards and draw 4 cards during your draw step. Either before you draw your 2 for the turn or after.
Okay, so I'll draw my 2. I must now discard 2. And then draw 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, throw the dark 1 card out there. It's 5th
You
player.
always draw that.
I do. It's just, it's got good luck written to it.
It's because Adam signed it.
That
If it was
part-
signed by me, it would hide from you forever.
All right, let's see here. To try to do a maximum amount of damage to you.
Yeah, the puppets are pretty easy to hit.
Well,
But they kind of have to be as fast as, I mean, half your deck's almost gone.
Yeah, so nonetheless, I'm not going to be able to do much more than this, so we'll go ahead and do, do I even need to upsurge?
Probably not.
No.
I mean, with your
So we'll just-
second attack, you're fine.
Go to 3, back to 1, power strike, 3 points of damage. And it's now
Alright, so-
Scott's turn.
Let's see what else. Alright, so you draw a card at the end of your turn.
Draw it.
Alright, during my draw step, you draw 2 cards.
Drawing 2 cards.
Alright, so I draw my 2, gain 3, put me at 9. This is my second turn on the ultimate sacrifice. Alright, I'm gonna play all for one and one for all. All my guys are Team Urameshi, so I go to 12 Spirit and draw a card. Spirit. So I'll gain 4, I mean 16. I'm going to play Flashback, which puts 4 events. My discard pile back. So I'm going to pick 2. 4.
Some guy wrote on your card.
Yeah.
Alright.
Dork. Something about pick 3 on Burst of Power. You're not the only one who signed my cards. I had Bergmeyer, signed Kurama, and
Yeah.
I'm sure eventually, now that I've found these again, I may have to hunt down Sabat and Chuck and get them to sign the other puppets. Alright. I'm gonna play Stock.
Yep.
Which allows me to look at my opponent's hand, choose up to 2 cards, and put them on the bottom of their deck. I'm gonna choose none of those, and then you draw 3 cards. Normally I like to follow this up with a Lost, but unfortunately I don't have it. But I'm gonna play Empowered Emotions, which all players discard all cards in their hands. Turn your, yeah, you're gonna face up.
Alright, so now, beginning of my turn.
Alright. Yep.
Draw 2.
Well, you draw 2 for the turn, and if I were you, there's also the discard 2 and draw 4. So you may want to do that first when you have no cards in your hand. So that way you discard 2, which you can't do because you don't have any, but you still draw your 4. So you draw 4, and then you draw your 2 for the turn.
Okay. So you hear that, guys? That was a little complicated, but what he's saying is if you don't have any cards in your hand and you have to discard cards, it's best to do it right then so that you can still draw cards instead of getting rid of what you might want to keep.
I draw 1 card during your draw step.
So, we will
See, here
move
lies
this
a bad
to
thing.
2.
If you defeat Yusuke, you're gonna have to draw 6 cards, and I'm looking at your deck there.
Faces essentially will allow me to
Uh-huh.
gain some more spirit back. So that goes to from 3 to 8. Luckily, I don't have to draw any cards.
Hope you have recuperation or flashback or something.
Well, I was, but you got rid of the card that was going to give me that card back. So, not much more I can really do here, so we'll bring this to an end. We'll do a, well,
Are you gonna
got
kill
rid of my
Yusuke?
power
Are you gonna
strike.
kill Yusuke?
Of course I'll
How
kill
dare
if
you,
I
sir.
can.
He has a 3,000 defense. I think you're okay.
Alright, so we'll do an overwhelming kill, pay 2 spirit for that.
Do you
Go
really want
to-
to waste that card? I mean, he
We're
only
not
needs
gonna
1 more point of
play.
damage.
We're not gonna play again. Alright, well, yeah.
I'm just saying.
Alright, fair enough. So we'll just do the
You could
free
throw-
attack. Well,
which
that,
does 1 point of damage.
yeah, that kills him off.
So,
I draw
you
6.
go to the winner's circle, I go face down, he goes face up to dictate. If this
That's
game would
1,
go much
2,
longer,
3,
the point of the
4,
game is to, the first one to
5.
win 3.
Can't draw my 6th card. It's a loss. Scott
It's
wins.
kind of cheap.
So there it
But I'll
is.
take it.
But that's how you play the game, guys. We've kind of showed you 2 different rounds here.
And
so,
again, we have quite a few decks posted with other ways to win and a little more traditional.
So check them out, pull out your cards, dust them off, bring out your Dark One card that you got here in your newest Blu-ray, and build yourself a deck and help keep Yu Yu Hakusho alive. We appreciate your patience with us, and I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks, guys.